52 Traders, Episode 5.
I look for reversals back to the trend. So if you have an established trend, higher highs and higher lows, I won't go through that, and then a corrective action, you're always wondering whether that corrective action is the beginning of a new trend in the opposite direction or just a reaction or a pullback in an existing trend.
Over the next year, your host Cam Hawkins gets inside the minds of 52 of the world's best traders to find out if he has what it takes to become one of them. Join Cam every week on the 52 Traders podcast or at 52traders.com to learn how to trade like the pros. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not investment, trading, or financial advice of any kind. Trading is very risky and could lose you all of your capital. Any comments about historical performance are not an indication of future results.
Before we kick things off, remember to visit 52traders.com for the show notes and to pick up my completely free Trendline software. Simply jump on the site, add your email, and I'll send you the download link. What's up, traders? Welcome to another episode of 52 Traders, and today we're lucky enough to have Norman Hallett on the show. Norman hails from Parkland, Florida, and has been trading the futures markets since 1979. Norman has seen it all over his 36 years in the market, spending time with Payne Webber, in addition to spending years as a commodity trading advisor, managing millions in his own program. He also had a strong 5-year run as a radio personality on his own show, Risky Business. For the last decade, his concentration has been almost solely on getting traders mentally and emotionally fit through his disciplined trader training program. Welcome to the show, Norman.
Thanks for having me, Cam.
Brilliant. So, Norman, I've mentioned some of your highlights already, and that's only a small part of your story. Now, this is your chance to share more about you personally and give the listeners more detail about your trading. So, what are you trading, how you're trading it, and the kind of results you see. So, over to you, Norman.
Well, as far as a little bit more about myself, I've been married I better get this right, 34 years now to the same woman. Which surprises most of my friends who have been married more than once. But in any event, I'm married to a terrific person, and she's a very famous hypnotist. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons I've been married for so long. I'm not allowed to leave, but she is really what has inspired me to concentrate on what I do mostly, and that is help traders with their mental and emotional issues. And she is always telling me how she didn't know I did. I'll mention something a profession that I was in or something that I did before, and she'll always say, I didn't know you did that. Even she did it again last week. I've done so many things leading up to my trading and trading success. I started at the University of Cincinnati, where I graduated with a degree in math because I couldn't get through mechanics. So I added up all my credits. Actually, it took me 3 times to get through mechanics. I think if it took me that many times, I probably wasn't supposed to be an engineer. So I added up all my credits, and the quickest way out the door was a math degree. So I took that and immediately went over to Arthur Murray's and started teaching dance in the dance studio. That lasted a few months where I've done so many things. I don't want to go through that. I'm just saying that I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur that has a love for trading that has been really the core of what I've done through all of my entrepreneurial endeavors. I've been in the nightclub and restaurant business. I ran the chief competitor to a Studio 54 nightclub. So I know how to manage people. I've seen people and at their best and at their worst. And there are some great stories, maybe for another interview, in the nightclub business. But really, when I got through with all of those experimentations at about 31 years old, I decided I would get into the trading business. And I wound up in San Francisco and thought to myself, what can I do? Boy, I said, I can sell. So I started in a gold and silver firm that just sold gold and silver options on the phone. And that I walked in after 3 months and all the desks were gone and et cetera. And that was my first experience in the investment business. And I thought, boy, I can't deal with this. But after a while, I realized, I kind of enjoyed the topic of gold and silver, and that's how I got into a more serious firm, which I wound up being a regional vice president for and running a big option firm. But as far as my own trading is concerned, I'm mostly a futures trader. I trade about an hour a day, 5-minute charts to 30-minute bar charts. If I get into a 30-minute bar chart, maybe it's going to take me 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours sometimes to move through a trade. But generally, I try to, mostly a scalper who is in and out, never, if ever, very hardly hold positions toward the end of the day, unless it's something that is a very common occurrence. For instance, if I'm trading the S&P and it ends at the high of the week, I'll usually stay in for the open on Monday because that's a very, very high probability statistic. I use candles a lot, so I'll warn you, we'll probably mention something about candles somewhere around here. I really believe that the emotional part of candles, the interpretation that's kind of built into a candle from the standpoint of reflecting the emotions of the market, really works for me in my background and my respect for the mental and emotional issues of trading. I use Fibonacci a lot, again, a mathematical backed interest that made total sense to me, a universal law that I don't think I should be fighting, so I learned about how to go with it. So between candles and Fibonacci and honoring a trend and learning not to buck the trend and knowing that the easiest way is riding with it rather than resisting it, those are the pillars that I stand by or I lean against when I trade. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, look, there's a lot in there. And firstly, your wife and her hypnotist experience. Have you got any details on that? Is she someone that we could look up and find online there?
Yeah, I think if you looked up Tisha Hallett, and she's been on the cover at least once of Hypnotist magazine years ago. She is, of course, responsible for all of our subconscious trainings here at the Disciplined Trader. My company also, in the past, although we haven't done really much with it in the last 8 or 10 years since we've been focusing on traders, because, of course, that's my love. We've got other sites and other softwares for golfers. In fact, our golf software was required by the Royal Canadian Golf Association for years for their juniors to use our Golf Mind software. We have, I think if you go to eBay, you can probably find some of our software there. CDs are not real popular anymore. We've kind of loaded it all up into a site we call Self-Help Express that has a lot of my wife's work there and all. Everything from better sex to better golf to better trading, all in kind of one place. But, she is very prolific and very good at what she does. So it's been a very interesting life with her. She doesn't let me get away with much because she believes, as I, of course, believe, having been with her so long, that as you perceive what you think, as you vision, those are the most likely things to come back to you. So, she's been very instrumental in my direction, in my business, and what makes me feel comfortable, and my success. So we share everything.
I'm a big fan of hypnosis, and have done it plenty of times in the past, and often use self-hypnosis CDs to help me in various aspects of my life, and they seem to work really well. So are you able to give us a bit more of an insight into the results that you see with your trading as well? Okay, so that was the first part of the show. Now, to hear the full episode, the best bits, join the family at 52traders.com. They usually go for about 45 minutes to an hour long, and trust me, these shows are great. They give us so much insight. Now, if you want to get there quickly, all you need to do is jump into the show description on your phone, and there's a link taking you directly to 52traders.com, where you can join the family over there and listen to the full episode. Now, in the rest of the show, I cover off what my traders do differently from the rest of us. So what is it that they're doing that we're not doing? What their typical trading day looks like, what they would do if they had a day job now and wanted to trade for a living, their preferred trading strategy, so actually how does it work? What we should be educating ourselves on when we're looking at a price chart, so what indicators we should use, what price levels, what chart patterns, all those sorts of things. Also, we touch on fundamentals as well. So how do we use news to our advantage? Trading psychology, tips, tricks, techniques, we go through those. Exiting trades, managing trades that you've got running. So we talk about their strategies. They give you strategies for exiting and managing trades. Books to read, websites to visit, all the best ones. Something that you should try and master over the next month. The broker and platform they use. And finally, last but not least, they give us a full trading strategy. So something you guys can try out at home on your PC this week in the markets if you wish. Now, to get the full episode, you need to jump onto 52traders.com, join the family. As I said, it usually goes on for 45 minutes to an hour, and there's a link in the show description. So if you're on your phone, just jump on there, tap the link, and it'll take you straight to 52traders.com. Now, if you're thinking about learning to automate any of your trading, hiring a developer, learning to code, that sort of thing, then before you do that, jump onto my other website, automatemytrading.com. So if you're interested in automating some or all of your trading, then jump onto automatemytrading.com and you'll see me over there. For now, to hear the rest of this episode, all you need to do is click on the link in the show description or go to 52traders.com. See you there.